I'm John Oetjens, and welcome to Schooling Around. Today we visit the Oxford High School Fine Arts Center. As the holidays approach, it's a hub of activity as kids and teachers plan and play concerts, the dancers rehearse, and the actors audition. We're going to visit with our band, orchestra, theater, and dance folks to find out what's lined up for this school year. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Connie again from Connie's Kitchen, coming to you from Treetop Lodge, the place where magic happens and unicorns roam freely. Of course, you have to come to the lodge to understand about the unicorn thing, but they're everywhere. We'll be doing a wide variety of cooking shows here on Oxford Community Television, and I personally would like to thank the crew for coming out and giving me this opportunity to share my passion and what I love to do with you from Connie's Kitchen. So please join us on OCTV, join us at the lodge, and look for us all over the town. And if you see unicorns, they probably came from here. See you soon.
Our orchestras are led by Bill Milicevic and Nadi Benyamin. Bill's main concentration is on the high school orchestra, but he also leads the Suzuki Strings, a training ground for new violinists. Nadi is in charge of our younger orchestra musicians. They tell us more about their programs.
The instrumental program, both the orchestras and the bands, are going to be going to New York City, and that'll be at the tail end of April. They're going to be leaving on a Wednesday, traveling by day, and staying through Sunday, coming back during the daytime, and a lot of things that they're going to be doing. It's a very, very packed schedule. It's very much cultural. It's going to be including some performance opportunities as well. The marching band is going to be playing at the foot of the Statue of Liberty, and all the participants not in marching band, whether they're members of the orchestra or all the parent chaperones coming along, will be part of the audience, plus standardized. And the orchestra is going to be combining to perform at at a cathedral in downtown New York City, and just to get a different type of acoustic experience, the way the old classics used to be played. And then everybody will reciprocate being an audience, and plus any passerbys that may be within the city at that time. But they're going to be exploring quite a few avenues of New York City, everything from Chinatown, Wall Street, some museums, landmarks. We're going to the top of the Rock. They're going to be exposed to 2 different musicals of contrasting styles, and it's incredibly packed, and eating pretty well along the way as well.
That'll be something you'll never forget, I know.
Yeah.
Nadi, you're more in charge of the elementary school
Yes.
orchestras, I believe. Tell us a little bit about that program. How many orchestras do you have within the elementary
Sure.
school?
So I teach the 4th and 5th grade beginning orchestra. These are students who have a very, almost no experience to very, very minimal experience of playing a string instrument. And we've started that program, it was been there from the beginning, from 7 years ago. And every year it includes all 4 elementary schools in the district, from Lakeville, Leonard, and Oxford Elementary and Clear Lake. And they all meet at Lakeville Elementary in the morning. It's before school starts, and it's 5 days a week, which is very, very rare to find a 5-day a week elementary orchestra program. It's very special to have that. Before school starts, where parents drop them off in the morning, and then shuttles take the students back to their schools, and they continue with their day.
I was going to ask how that worked. The parents drop them all off at Clear
Yes.
Lake,
At Lakeville.
At Lakeville, rather.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they're bused to their respective schools?
Exactly, yes. And what's great about this program right now is that it's also morphing to, we have a second year elementary orchestra program that's fifth graders who've played, also students who might also join in the Suzuki violin program that also starts from kindergarten, and those students are with Mr. Milicevic, and he teaches that second year elementary orchestra, kind of like more of an advanced elementary orchestra.
So we take the elementaries and we team teach them, but in two separate buildings. So the second year orchestra actually meets at the middle school daily.
Right.
Same exact arrangement, just two different locations. So the students with either very little or no previous experience go into first year orchestra, regardless of their grade level. If they're fourth grade, they might be fifth grade. And the students that have previous experience either with Mr. Benjamin the previous year, or maybe they've been a part of the Suzuki program for a few years, and they have the option to try to get into the second year orchestra right away. We have several students this year that have made it in, and they are thriving. Should it be a little bit too much of an incline later into the fall, they still have an option to go ahead and matriculate into the fourth grade setting where it's first year orchestra. So there's differentiation for the best fit for all students.
Tell me a little more about the Suzuki program. What
Sure.
exactly is that?
Well, Shinichi Suzuki was a educator who developed the Suzuki system for teaching violin. It's based on a rote system. In other words, hearing and then playing and then ultimately learning how to read music. That's last. In a similar way that students learn how to speak with their mother tongue, and then ultimately later they learn how to read words and letters and put sentences together. They teach the violin the same way. And so as they're going through the Suzuki program, it starts off little by little. It's based on repetition. It's based on copying the teacher, both as they model the posture and as they model all the different notes, and sequentially as they climb together. And it breaks down into no experience previously and more experienced students. And then even within that, there's differentiation. Now that program also this year, we've revamped it where the violins also meet at Lakeville Elementary. And it's kind of cool because the busing system that's in place for all of the fourth, fifth graders that are part of the first and second year orchestra also is in place for all the first, second, and third graders. And so Lakeville Elementary has become this little symphony hub.
Hub of
and
activity.
Literally, I mean,
Yeah.
practically hundreds of kids toting around with their string instruments, and a lot of excitement around there. We've had a lot of super positive feedback about the environment where the classes are a little bit more full so that they're all the same size, which there's a critical mass where you don't want necessarily too few or you don't want too many, but there's a critical mass where it's just right for a Suzuki program, usually around 10 to 12, and so that they can move en masse.
Okay. So what's coming up next? Are you guys, are your orchestras involved in any competitions or anything like that?
Well, yes. Our very next concert that we'll be sharing again as this evening will be in December, our December program. And following that, we start merging into the festival season. That includes solo and ensemble festival, but it also includes orchestra festival. The high school here is one of the buildings in the greater district, not just Oxford, but we're all a part of District 3, and that includes several school districts, not just ours only. And so what happens is we host it where a variety of other schools come into our site to attend the orchestra festival. And it's band festival at the same weekend, so that this place is very, very buzzing on a Friday and a Saturday night. It includes the middle schools, both orchestras, bands. It includes high school orchestras and bands, and it's quite an action-packed weekend for those that are here the entire weekend. So.
We'll check in with the Oxford High School Band in just a moment.
Here we are in front of American Legion Post 108 in Oxford. Now, every Friday between 12 and 8:30, they serve up some of the best fish in Michigan. Follow me inside. We're going to take a look around the post. All right, here we are now on the hall side of the post, where you can get tables for anywhere to 6 to 30 people. And before or after you're done eating, take a walk around and browse through the second largest military museum in the state of Michigan. All right, now we're over on the restaurant side of the post, where Most of the fun happens, as you can see behind me. They've got darts, pool tables, 50-50 raffles, and any kind of fish you can think of, baked cod, walleye, combo plates, all right here at your beck and call.
Jim Gibbons is the leader of our high school bands. He tells us what's in store for them.
So our show has come along great. I know that we were on cable back in the summer with this special on Bandcamp, and I think that we've made a lot of progress since then, so we're happy with how things are going marching band wise. You know, we're doing stuff that focuses on articulation, or might focus on tone quality and intonation, just to develop the skills that we need as the school year progresses.
How many kids do you have in the marching band?
Marching band is 140. We do have a theme for the marching band. We're doing a classic meets alternative rock show. So that band definitely has a theme. We have a theme every year. Concert bands, not so much, but there's about 140 kids in the marching band. Overall, there's about 200 students in the band program in general. Not everybody marches, not everybody plays in concert band, we have kids who are in the jazz band as well. So we see about, slightly more than 200 students in our program.
And you got a trip planned for later this year.
Yep, we are going to New York in April. We're going along with the orchestra, and we're doing Wednesday, 3 nights, 4 days in New York. The band will play at the Statue of Liberty, do probably like a 30-minute concert that'll be seen by people from literally all over the world.
Where's it going to be at?
It's right on Liberty Island, right in the shadow of the statue. So it's a really, really cool venue, really cool performance for the kids. Lots of parents get choked up when they see the kids play. We'll do some patriotic things, and so it's a moving experience for the parents and the kids. And just, every time I tell the kids that every time you see the Statue of Liberty, you can say to your kids, to your grandkids, I had a concert, I performed a concert right there.
If you attended the recent Bandorama, you heard our jazz band work their wonders with a number of great tunes, including Dave Brubeck's legendary Take 5. We caught up with leader John Hill for a chat.
This is my second year here in Oxford.
Wow. Well, there's obviously a lot of enthusiasm for the jazz band out there.
Yeah, like 50 kids.
Now, are you guys going to be involved in the holiday concert as well?
Yes. In fact, Friday morning we're going to begin reading some of the holiday favorites, and we're looking forward to putting together not only classic holiday tunes in a classic jazz style, but also unique arrangements of jazz tunes. So it's going to be fun. Very unique character to tunes, and I'd like to do certain features of different instrument groups. Maybe we can have smaller ensembles put together. I'm still formulating exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to definitely holiday stuff.
I love the way the kids played Take 5. I thought that was, of course, in my age group, that was a...
That's a classic.
You better believe it.
Yes.
You better believe it.
I knew it was going to be a home run the minute we read it, just because it's such a wonderful melody and such a infectious groove, that 5/4 groove. Everybody loves it. So.
Any other oldies but goodies you're taking a look at for the future?
Well, I like to do tributes to different people, and it's been a long time since I've done a lot of music from Charlie Parker for big band, because Charlie Parker, of course, was a great combo player, quintets and quartets and that sort of thing. So there are some great big band arrangements featuring his composition. So we're looking at doing in the springtime some jazz festivals and featuring some compositions from Charlie Parker for sure.
Well, how do the kids react to some of these old-time compositions, like Take 5? I mean, what was their reaction the first time they took a look at that thing?
And it's great because it's all new to them, and they they really, so I say, okay, check out the recording of Dave Brubeck playing it. Check out recordings of other people playing it. There's thousands of recordings of Take 5, for example.
Take a look at the Paul Desmond sax solo. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we're looking, it really, I always make sure that whenever I'm programming music, and it could be rock, it could be jazz, it could be whatever, but it's real, it's music they're going to hear another time in their life and become a consumer. It's not just music for educational purposes, although it is educational. They also have there's a historical background of the music, and I think that's really important.
Are a lot of these kids in the marching band as well, or?
Yes, so during marching season, we rehearse till 9 p.m. We actually got out after 9 p.m. most nights, 9:15, and we hit the ground running the next morning, 6:45 a.m. And that was 2 days a week of that situation. So
We'll move into the world of dance in just a moment. Katie Koivunen has been a teacher in our Arts Conservatory for the past 2 years. There's a wide diversity of age groups performing over there. We spoke with some of them.
You guys are 9th graders, both of you, right?
I'm a 10th grader.
Oh, you're a 10th grader. Okay. So how long have you been dancing?
Like here or in general?
In general.
This is my 4th or 5th year, I think, 5th.
So it's been a few years. And how about you?
I've only been dancing for 1 year.
Ah. So this must be a great experience for you guys to be studying with professionals and everything here at the Arts Academy?
It's great,
You
yeah.
were mentioning about something in class, something after school. Tell me about that, how it works.
Okay, so it's all part of the dance conservatory. So the conservatory is the in-school. It's 2 hours. It's like a 2-hour block, first and second hour. Yeah. And it's like we do ballet and modern. Mm-hmm. And then for after school, it's the conservatory company, which is like an extra thing that if you like want to do it, you can. And we perform at other performances. Yeah, we have a special competition coming up too.
So a 9th grader and a 10th grader. How long have you been dancing?
Since I was 3.
Since you were 3?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And how long have you been dancing?
2.5.
Since you were 2.5 years old? Mm-hmm. Well, you guys are almost professionals right now then.
You could say that.
Have you had a lot of ballet experience during that time? Mm-hmm. Wow. Now, this isn't your first year in the academy, right?
No, this is my 2nd year.
Okay. So what do you think of this? It's a pretty good opportunity.
Yes,
Huh?
this is an awesome opportunity, and I love it.
And you're involved both in the daytime classwork as well as the after-school thing?
Yep.
Well, what are I know you're 9th and 10th grader. You've got a lot of time to make a decision on this sort of thing, but are you thinking about maybe pursuing this as a career later on?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is my 2nd year
Your
teaching
second
at
year
Oxford.
here.
Yes.
But you're a professional dancer as well. You're not new to dance by any stretch of the imagination.
No, yeah, I did some. I went to college, Oakland University, had my Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Dance, and then I did some professional dancing when I was first out of college.
Tell us a little bit about the program here. You've got kids with all kinds of different experiences in dance. I mean, some of these kids are just starting out, and others have been dancing since they were practically toddlers.
Right. So the Oxford Arts Conservatory, our goal is to broaden dance, open that up for kids, whether they just want to do it in high school, go professional, or go to college for dance. We do. We have an audition, so we do take into the actual program usually kids who have some background in dance, but we do offer an introduction level for anyone who just wants to start dancing once they get to high school.
Yeah, and you have a couple of kids who are going to be in the upcoming performance in that category, don't
Right,
you?
exactly, yes.
Yeah. What's coming up this year?
And we're dancing at Oakland Dance Festival in November, and then our first time performing at Oakland University during their winter concert in December.
Okay, so that'll actually be at Oakland
That'll
University.
be at Oakland University during their student performance.
What about the dance center thing? Is that going to be away from here as well?
The Oakland Dance Festival, yeah, that's at Farmington Harrison High School. That's more of a competition for us. So
I
that'll
see.
be
I was
something
going to
different.
ask you that, if you were going to be getting into some kind of competitions this
yes,
year.
so that'll be our first competition. for
Okay.
the
What would be the next
program.
program here in Oxford that we could see after the one in school?
That it'll be in January,
Uh-huh.
and that'll be our winter concert, which will be all 3 levels of dance performing, as well as Oakland University dancers coming to Oxford and performing in our show.
Do you have a theme? Last but not least is our theater department. We've got a big musical coming up. More sets than ever before and flying. Teacher Christopher Card explains.
Well, one of the big things we're looking forward to this year is the blockbuster, The Wizard of Oz. It's going to hold some new elements on our stage that we haven't seen before. It's going to be a pretty massive production. Pretty excited about it.
Tell me, what leads up to your choosing a musical?
Wow, this is a great question. And when we choose a musical, there's so many things to consider. We like to involve the entire music program, so we're looking at the vocal program, the theater program, the band program, and the orchestra program. So we've been looking at shows that complement each. So we look at what instruments we have, what vocalists we have, what actors we have, and we think, okay, with this talent pool, what would be a great show for that? Also keeping in mind what the community might be looking for. So we like having our auditorium packed with members of the community, and we are sure that Wizard of Oz is going to bring people out.
What kind of paperwork goes on behind the scenes so that you can do any one of these famous plays?
Yeah, for sure. There's starting from just getting the royalties and the rentals going on. So that's the start of it all, which is an application process. And we've never had a problem with that, but there's certainly quite a bit of paperwork to take care of on the front end. People usually don't think about that. Then you roll into your getting the directing team and your production team put together and communicating with them. So our costumer has been already working for us, our choreographer, just some planning meetings. We've already talked special effects for the production. Mm-hmm. And for Wizard of Oz this year, we are flying actors. So we've been working with ZFX, a flying company that comes in, rigs up the system so our actors can actually fly across the stage. So a lot of front planning. Then we roll into auditions and continue with the production planning, rehearsal schedule, things like that. So before we even start rehearsing, there's hundreds of hours put in.
You mentioned royalties. So we have to pay money in order to perform these plays. Where does that come from? Is that from the school budget, or where does that come from?
Really, the entire musical budget is self-sustaining. So when people come to see the show, it's all paid for out of the tickets and any ad sales that we make, concessions we do, things like that. But it all has to generate its own revenue to pay for everything from royalty to costumes to set construction. All that stuff wrapped into one, which is quite expensive.
So you got to show the boss some numbers at the beginning of it all.
There's always that concern. Are we going to cover the budget? And our shows have done well in the past, so we're building up a fund balance so that year to year we can make sure that we'll be afloat if there's a tough year.
Did you lose a lot of good people last year with seniors graduating?
We had a lot of veterans that were part of Beauty and the Beast, and so it's always challenging to see those actors leave you. And a number of them going on to study at the college level in music and music theater. So that's been exciting. But yeah, it also the exciting thing also on the other side of that coin is it provides opportunity for people that can step up into their shoes and have that opportunity to show what they're capable of. But we certainly lost quite a bit of talent last year.
So we got a pretty good talent pool going for us.
The talent pool for this year is very, very strong. Again, there's been people just waiting, ready for their opportunity to step up there. And behind this dedicated and very, very gifted group is our people that are very, very strong, particularly in our freshmen and sophomores, which is exciting to see that the program has a great future.
Okay, now you're in the audition stage of things right now, I guess.
We are indeed, and we just completed auditions on our principals. And our Dorothy, one exciting thing, our Dorothy is actually a sophomore, so she's got a number of years left. So our principal character, just as an example, is somebody who's been just waiting for that moment to step forward and show what she's capable of.
And are you able to draw from the dance company for some
Yeah,
of this?
a nice thing is we've got this dance conservatory at Oxford High School, and for the Wizard of Oz, we are planning 2 particularly big dance numbers that will involve classical dance, actually, and some modern dance as well. So our dance conservatory is going to be involved in both of those numbers, and the audience will definitely see a step up in choreography because these are students that their full-time emphasis is dance.
Okay, so the audition phase goes until when?
We have a 2-week audition window for The Wizard of Oz because it is going to be a sizable cast, and a lot of people are excited to be part of what's become a blockbuster music theater program in the area. So we are completing high school auditions actually this week, and next week we're going into Munchkin auditions. So our Munchkins are being drawn from kindergarten through 8th grade in Oxford Community Schools, and we know there's a lot of interest in those Munchkin positions. Our website for the Munchkins is hitting about 1,400 hits. So a lot of interest. It's going to be a busy week doing Munchkin auditions.
Could I stick a couple of my grandkids in on that?
There you go.
When does, I suppose obviously you've got to be thinking about other things at the same time, like set building and that sort of thing. When does that start?
Well, really, the set for The Wizard of Oz is going to be very complex. The thing that challenges it is there's actually 27 different scenes in The Wizard of Oz, as opposed to different shows we've done in the past, which will have 7 or 8 sets. And so we've got to be really, really on top of construction in advance to make sure that we can get all those scenes put together. So Wizard of Oz has some real challenge to it, real challenge as far as costuming and set construction, which really raises the cost for it. But the audience is going to see a really big production value on this one. They're going to see some incredible, beautiful sets, versatile sets, a lot of things moving across the stage, lightning fast, to set up these scenes to transport you from Kansas to the Land of Oz.
Do you enlist the support of a lot of adult volunteers to help with the set? I mean, it sounds to me like you might need some professional help here and there.
Yeah, this one is going to stretch our resources, I'm not going to lie. The set, there's a lot of 2-story construction on this one. A lot of actually set that would involve trigonometry in its construction. So as far as just how it's constructed, how it moves, we always have to consider storage. With so many large pieces, you know, where are these things going to go backstage along with the talent we have? So our resources will be stretched. We draw on adults. We love it when members of the community bring in some construction experience and they want to get involved even for a night or a weekend and just come in. So we're always interested in people shooting out emails and calls saying, hey, love to be part of that.
Well, we'll put the word out on that. When is the production scheduled to begin the performances?
The performances are in March, and I'll get you the dates in a moment.
That's fine. No, but
yeah.
well,
performances
after
in March. We're an exciting thing for Wizard of Oz is because of the show's popularity and because of the musical at Oxford growing in popularity. We're doing 2 weekends this year, so we'll be doing 9 performances over 2 weekends.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey, you're the director of the choir. Since I've got you here, I'm going to try and get a twofer.
Yes.
What's happening with the choir these days?
Well, I tell you what, things in choir are more alive than ever, and which says a lot because the choir program's had a lot of passion to it. The students just really embrace singing, and they love it, and they've received invitations to perform nationally and internationally. So what they've been doing has been really exciting, just the standard that they're reaching towards.
Of course, we'll be following up with all of these areas. Paul Simon once wrote, "Music is forever. Music should grow and mature with you, following you right up until you die. Their journey has just begun." Thanks to Kyle Snage at the controls, Dan Zweiss at the desk, and you for watching. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local.
This is OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford and Addison Townships with the best in local programming. On Charter Channel 191, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and our website, OCCTV.org. OCTV, we provide local programming that brings you closer to home.